Do you think in 2026 that there's going to be a housing market crash?
I think we've seen prices start correcting in the last like 12 to 18 months.
But they're still ridiculous.
They're still high unless you're Mark Wahlberg and just goes and buys a house cash in Delray for $37 million.
In Palm Beach County, you've got, Tiger Woods has a home here, Michael Jordan, Donald Trump.
Why would we turn down a multiple $1 million sale if this cash is already basically converted before the closing? So we're having seminars that you do have a lot of investors that just have, put 100 grand in Bitcoin 10 years ago and it's worth $100 million or something ridiculous. And they're going to want to, I feel, start parking that money into assets and have now monthly residual income, whether it's just commercial properties or residential. There will come a point where it will be common for people to be buying property in Bitcoin.
Have you worked with any billionaires?
Yeah.
How are they different from millionaires?
Oh, God.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast where today, guys, we have Jeff Molner with us. He is a South Florida realtor. He's fourth generation real estate killer who's already claimed 40 under 40 and is gunning for $100 million in sales in 2026. He negotiates hard and cares even harder, and he pushes everyone around him to level up. If you want to hear from someone who actually walks the walk in business and life, this is your guy. Jeff, welcome to the show, man.
Travis, thanks for having me, man. It's an honor.
Dude.
This is an honor to be here.
Absolutely. I'm happy to have you. So, fourth generation real estate agent.
Fourth gen, baby.
So what? We talking great grandfather?
We're talking great grandfather. Great grandfather had a insurance broker and also was a real estate broker. Grandfather was a developer, very successful developer up in New Jersey. And then my dad's been a broker for 40 plus years. So
damn,
I'm in the fourth wheel here.
So being fourth generation real estate guy, has your family taught you a lot about real estate, hopefully?
A lot. I mean, it's been one of those things where pretty much, my growing up around like my dad and stuff, it was just like ice hockey travels and stuff. He was just on the phone, working with people and stuff with real estate. So it was just always naturally like what I heard, like negotiations and this and issues and problems and how to solve problems and just every dynamic that we could have touched with real estate development. So
my question is this, because there's a lot of people out there who don't have, 4 generations of real estate knowledge. Yeah. What's one important lesson that your family has taught you that maybe has been passed down or maybe hasn't been about real estate? What's one important lesson that you've learned about real estate?
So the biggest lesson that I've probably learned, having that knowledge and backing that's probably different than a lot of other people, is understanding the issues and the problems that happen and just already having 10 different solutions set up.
Okay.
So already identifying the problem and already having the answer to what the question or the issue is going to arise upon. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things I benefited from is just being 10 steps ahead of every potential issue in a transaction.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, holding the deal together, because a lot of agents they'll get into a encumbered corner essentially, right? They're cornered in, and the buyer's like, I don't know what to do, and then the agent freaks out and panics and like, I don't know what to do either. It's like you just stay calm, and you already have several ideas. Listen, we're gonna extend the home inspection. We're gonna get a roofer to come out. We're gonna get a mold specialist to come out. Whatever the issue arises on. Mm-hmm. That's why I also try to have like that A list of people in my pocket so everybody's just comfortable and we can keep the deal moving forward, whether it's we get a big credit, whether the roof is shot, we got to do a roofing issue, especially with insurances now. So it's probably the biggest thing I've benefited on to have that backing is just already having several solutions set for any problems that arise.
I mean, that's actually probably a pretty good skill. So you grew up around real estate, hearing all this stuff.
Yeah. Residential, commercial. My grandfather built a bunch of buildings like on Route 23
Where's
in
that?
New Jersey.
In New Jersey? Okay.
So it's like right down the street there. He built a bank. He managed real estate offices. He actually started Weichert Realtors and sold that to Jim Weichert, which is like huge in the Northeast.
Okay.
And he was just, I wish he was still with me today when I really started down here, because I'm sure we would have done like some cool development and stuff. But yeah. His soul lives on, and his memories, and I'm sure his blessings are looking after me, and just giving me that extra guidance and that extra niche of confidence is really what I probably strive in every day with, and just that's the biggest thing that I've learned with him.
Being prepared for the unexpected.
Being prepared for the unexpected, because every day, what I've learned in the business, there's an issue, there's a problem. So, and that call comes in, there's an issue, there's a problem, you take it, handle it right then and there, and just keep moving on, because if you don't, that stuff starts snowpiling, and then, you don't want that tension. You always want to be in that good, easy headspace, especially as an agent, as a realtor.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are from New Jersey.
From New Jersey originally.
Why is everybody from New Jersey always moving to South Florida? Like, what is it terrible in New Jersey?
I mean, probably because of this weather. It's something in the water down here.
Yeah. You get a taste of it and you just get addicted.
You get a taste of it, you get addicted. I would say for me, like, I've always been vacationing down here.
Yeah.
And I just always kind of felt like some type of a natural calm and peacefulness, just waking up and just seeing the ocean and seeing palm trees sway and just having beautiful weather. I think there's something about it, where like I do, like, genuinely, I love New Jersey. Like, the more I'm away from it, the more I'm kind of like, wow, that is like.
What's so great about New Jersey? Because I mean, I don't know. I've never been in New Jersey, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I just know a lot of people leave New Jersey to come here.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say some of the pros about New Jersey, like the food's really good, like the bagels are really good.
Okay.
The pizza's really good.
We got all those things here.
We got all those things here. Just like the quality of people, like it's a real connection that I have with some of like my best friends from New Jersey. Like, that will never go away from me. So I've just noticed it's like, and all my friends from New Jersey, they're the people that are just going to be like, if there's an issue, if they're going to say something, like, they're going to talk to me. They're not going to just be like, oh yeah, no problem, and then like talk behind your back. They're going to like confront you. And that's something I really respect, because so many people, like, that I've noticed, it's hard to find like that real genuine connection. People be like, oh yeah, all good to your face, and then it's like, oh, this guy's, it's like, if there's an issue or something, just say it. And that's the one thing that I could say I really love from the people that I've like grown up with around New Jersey. They're they're real.
That's what I'll say too. So I grew up on the West Coast,
Yeah.
With West Coast type of mentality and attitude and how you go about things. And also a lot of my family's from the Midwest, like North Midwest, where everybody's kind of very like passive. Like, if there's a problem, they're like, oh, sure, we'll just kind of like sweep that under the rug. But, people from the Northeast, New Jersey, New York, that whole New England area, they're more abrasive.
Yeah.
But you don't seem very abrasive. Jeff's a very nice guy. Like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. But most people from New Jersey, I'm not going to say rough around the edges, but they're just, they're more direct, more blunt, and more like confrontational.
100%, 100%. And that, like, to me, that's like one of the biggest things. Like, I don't like confrontation.
Yeah.
I really don't, but obviously it's life and you got to deal with it. So I try to choose not to have as many conflicts as I could. But that is definitely the biggest thing I would say is like that I value from what I learned in New Jersey. And it's very like family oriented, like very just, you know what I'm saying? Like, people work hard. It's a very cutthroat area in the sense where everybody's like really doing it to make it, and that's the work ethic up there is like unbelievable. People work really hard in New Jersey, like all day, every day. They're up at 5, 6 in the morning, like grinding for their family and stuff. So
you think that's just like the culture that's up there? Why did that culture develop up there? Like, why does everybody work hard in the Northeast? What's up with the hustle and bustle?
It could be pricing. Like, everything's expensive, and then they're paying X amount back in taxes.
Oh yeah, taxes are high.
Taxes are high, so then like the cost of living and stuff, everything's just up there. The real estate prices are pretty, I would say pretty reasonable in some areas, but some areas are really expensive.
Yeah, like
you go to, like areas like Harding or like Franklin Lakes has gotten like super, pricey, but those are really nice, ritzier, areas. There's a few other big ones. I have not been in New Jersey, and I was there actually in April, but like all the towns and stuff I used to just know, like boom, 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 right off the top of my head. I just kind of can't even think of a few of the areas, but there's like just some really nice heavy hitting areas, and the property taxes are also up like big time there too.
Yeah. Well, so, and that is New Jersey like a blue state or a red state?
I don't.
What is it now?
No, honestly, I think it's leaned more towards blue. I have to really check.
I know New York is more blue in the city.
I have to really check. That's a really good question. I would say it's probably lent a little bit more towards a blue state. In the years, I really haven't paid too much attention, but I think they are leaning blue.
Well, obviously Florida's a red state right now.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting, like living down here in Florida with a bunch of, conservative people.
Yeah.
The thing that you see all over social media all the time is, don't make my Florida blue, or, if you're going to come to Florida, vote the way we voted to make Florida like this.
It's definitely a concern. It's definitely a factor of like something to take into consideration, because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what honestly kind of makes the areas, it makes them special in the sense where, it's a very good question. I really have to dive a little bit further into it, to see exactly how Jersey is.
I don't know. I've never been in New Jersey, but maybe somebody in the comments will tell us what's it like living in New Jersey and why are so many people from New Jersey moving to Florida? Yeah. Or they say Florida.
Florida. The weather, it's pretty, like this time of year, it's going to be pretty gray for months. So that's one thing I definitely don't miss versus like obviously here it's just beautiful out, sun shining and stuff. And it's hard not to like be happy here essentially, because every day I pretty much, you make your own happiness essentially too, especially as an entrepreneur. I mean, you're a very successful entrepreneur. I look up to you in that regard, and just to have this vibe and energy of like, oh, it's beautiful out. Like I can meet this person today. I can meet this person today.
It's all about who you know and networking. And I think as a realtor, real estate agent,
that.
Yep. That's the most important thing is who you know, guys. If you don't know, it's who you know. Now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah. So
quote it, Travis Otto.
Yeah. So let's get back to, there's a couple of things when I introduced you. So number one, 40 under 40 in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
What's that actually mean?
So I got nominated in under from Real Producers, who's one of the, they are basically the company that ranks real estate agents in South Florida. Real Producers Palm Beach ranks the top 40 agents under the age of 40 in Palm Beach County.
So what do you got to do to become a top 40 under 40 realtor?
You got to produce. You got to have good sales volume. You got to be just killing it in your profession. Is
there like a certain number of sales you got to be doing to
There's a minimum level. I don't know the exact dollar figure amount of it. It's a big thing too. It's reputation. Because like especially in Jupiter, it's a very small town. Like there is a sliver of agents just doing like a bulk of the business.
Okay.
So obviously word of mouth goes around very quick around here. If you don't do right by somebody, people are going to know very quickly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one way that they gauge it. It's sales volume, it's transactions, it's overall reputation, deliverance, professionalism, activity in the community.
Well, that brings up, as you're talking here, I'm thinking, and, there's a lot of realtors out there. You know how many realtors are in South Florida? Thousands?
Hundreds of thousands.
That many realtors?
Hundreds of thousands.
There's a lot of realtors.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. Are realtors overpaid, or, do buyers just underestimate really what goes into a real estate transaction?
It's a great question. I would say the value of a real estate agent has gotten so much stronger in the last year or two after we got out of that COVID market. Mm-hmm. I think the value of a realtor right now is a huge. It's huge for anybody. I mean, even I have somebody that's gonna be purchasing new construction. It's like just the fact of, hey, we're going, we'll close in several months or whatever, and just the fact like, okay, let's get our own home inspector before we close on that new construction versus just taking the builder's word, oh yeah, everything's fine, and then GFCIs are tripping, this electrical isn't working, this wasn't done correctly, this.
I mean, that's stuff the home inspector does though, right?
Yes, but a lot of people won't even advise during a new construction build to get a home inspection.
Really? So you don't need a home inspection on a new construction?
No, you don't.
Okay, I would.
The builder takes care of all of it. But that's one thing that.
Get a home inspection, guys, on any home you're buying.
Anything, even for new construction. But a lot of realtors don't even know that.
Yeah.
They don't even think. They just put their feet up. They're like, yeah, we'll see you at the closing. And then a month later, like, oh, this is wrong. It's like, well, they do a blue tape before new construction. So
yeah,
you know exactly where there's some things, and you can easily correct all that stuff a month prior to closing. So when that family moves in and they just move their life across the state or the country, they have no issues. So that's just little things with that. I was even listening to something last night from Ryan Serhant, and it was like about the AI and this and that, and he was talking about some transaction that he was doing, and there was some guy through with AI, and he just kind of said like a couple things that really stuck out to me. And it was just like the delivery, the trust, the factor of actually having an agent that you can talk to and trust will never go out of fashion if you have somebody there that you could trust and this or that, because at the end of the day, you cannot coach AI to sell something to anybody. No matter what it is, you can have all these fundamentals and dynamics, but you can never have AI as a people person to make every person comfortable during a transaction. So I think, to me, like, a really good realtor has become a lot more valuable, especially as the market's gone harder in the last couple of years.
There's several points I wanted to hit on that you just hit on right now. Number one is that, compared to COVID, if you were in sales between 2020 to 2022, 23-ish, you were an order taker. People were just calling you up. I would like to buy what you have. Please, I will take it. Take my money, I will buy it. Now it's kind of flipped where you can't be an order taker anymore. You have to sell, and you have to ask questions. You have to understand what people are looking for, and you have to go above and beyond to earn their trust, earn the sale. And so, in that regard, I do agree with you. It's extremely important, guys, who you pick as your realtor. I've learned the hard way. I have a couple properties that I'm trying to sell in Louisiana that I talked to you about off air, and I've gone through 3 realtors so far trying to sell this, and it's just, mistake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I made the foolish mistake of just going, oh, they're a realtor, put on the market, it'll sell. And I still had that COVID brain, where everything's going to sell if you put it on there. And then number 2, moving on to Ryan Serhant. I was going to bring him up, actually, because he's all over the place right now.
He's just incredible.
He's got Netflix show.
He is an idol, and I got to talk to him a while ago. I was talking to him about potentially going to Serhant and stuff. I just love them. I've been really cool with my broker. They take good care of me at my company and stuff. But he's just a dynamic.
So you've met him before?
Through Zoom calls.
Through Zoom calls.
Calls, we really hit it off. He's just a great guy. My buddy Billy Volpe introduced us, and they're great, man. They're killers, and a lot of the top under 40 were Serhant agents.
Interesting.
And it just goes to show that's where the cream of the crop really is going towards, because of what he's accomplished in the real estate industry.
So what's one thing that Ryan Serhant's doing that every real estate agent out there should be, taking note of and doing themselves?
He's perfecting the structure of deals and structuring lead flow flawlessly for his agents, and I think that's why they're so successful. And he just kind of holds the demeanor so high, it just kind of gets everybody else so excited to go up and just keep trying to match the volume and the level. It's very from what I noticed too, it's very uplifting. And for me, I love what they're doing, but I'm just naturally a very uplifting person. So for me, I just uplift myself. I'm I want this lifestyle. I want to be driving these cars and doing this and having this house. So I'm very self-motivating to myself, but I know exactly what kind of formula I can see what they're doing.
So it's
a driving factor.
So number one, he's got a good pipeline for his
huge pipeline.
His agency.
Obviously the lead flow never stops.
Lead flow. So he's got killer lead flow. And number 2, he's got positivity and uplifting his agents with excitement.
Excitement. The videos are great. He's just constantly on air. Obviously, he's got his own videographer, so they're just, it'd just be for me, hey, I'm gonna just hire somebody and just film me all day. Film me on the phone, film me walking into homes. That's definitely the next point I want to get to. So that's some of the biggest stuff I see him doing right now.
He seems like he's got a good thing going on.
Oh, it's a movement. It's definitely a movement with what they're doing, and like I pointed out, there's a lot of guys under Serhant that are in that 40 under 40 for a reason. He's got some heavy hitters under him.
Picks the big dogs. Is he just on the East Coast, or is he?
I don't know if he's gone to the West Coast yet. It's a really good question. Have to ask him.
Would you say, out of all the thousands of realtors, would you say are most realtors good at what they do, or is the bar just really low?
I would say there's less of a percentage to find a really good realtor than there is to just find a realtor.
Yeah. So, I think you know who Grant Cardone is, don't you?
100%.
So Grant Cardone says 99% of realtors are broke and faking it.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I would say so. I mean, probably. You
So-
know, the stuff you're seeing online and stuff and how people are,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of flash to it. Like, even for me, like, I don't wear a watch. You know, I don't buy jewelry and stuff. I save my money, buy
Smart.
real estate.
Yeah.
I'm a little less flashy in that sense. Like, do I want to go buy a watch tomorrow? Can I? Of course. I just never really chose to have this like upper flash of things because I kind of see how some of these agents are, and then it's like, it's very show. And I'm like a lot more just humble and take care of people. And I have like a very old school mentality, and I'm sure I'll get myself a really nice piece. I probably deserve it, but I just don't go above and beyond with it.
Well, supposedly that's an investment too. Like if you buy a Rolex, supposedly it goes up in value over the years. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too. I was talking to one of my friends. He's got a bunch of Rolexes, and it just also seems like it's a really good investment. I've just kind of more been like, obviously just investing in the market and real estate. Those are kind of my two main heavy hitting things. I haven't really gone too diving into Bitcoin yet, but that's probably something I'm just going to park some money into as well, just because of where the trends are going. I mean, people are buying property in Bitcoin right now too. I mean, that's a really
Have you had a
cool
transaction
feature.
where somebody's bought a property in Bitcoin?
We had an offer actually. We actually had an offer on the penthouse
for Bitcoin
that somebody was trying to do in Bitcoin, and it was kind of funny though because the seller was like panicky. He was like, "What the hell is this?" Like he's sold, he owns a big gold company. And he's old school, so all he had was gold. He's like, "What the hell is this Bitcoin stuff?" And then we thought we were getting scammed. And it turns out the buyer just kind of flaked out. They were like from Dubai or something, but
sounds sketchy.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. But I was also kind of like, let's just be open to it and see. I mean, because if this is actually legitimate, why would we turn down a multiple $1 million sale if this cash is already basically converted before the closing? So we're having seminars that you do have a lot of investors that just have, put $100,000 in Bitcoin 10 years ago and it's worth $100 million or something ridiculous. And they're going to want to, I feel, start parking that money into assets and have now monthly residual income, whether that's just commercial properties or residential. So I think there will come a point where it will be common for people to be buying property in Bitcoin.
We'll see. A
At
lot
some point.
A lot of other people I talk to, if you talk to anybody who's like an investor, like they invest in the stock market, when you invest in the stock market, like you're buying a piece of a company.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
If you're buying gold, you're buying tangible pieces of gold. They'll send you gold in the mail.
Exactly.
When you buy Bitcoin, you get nothing.
Exactly.
And so most people are saying that Bitcoin is just a big scam, and it's going to be the biggest scam in the history of scams is Bitcoin.
It's like,
but you're thinking that maybe one day we'll be actually doing real estate transactions in Bitcoin.
I do. It's like the famous slogan, like, you go shopping, we get nothing.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I was just saying, that was an inside joke when we were in Japan.
Oh, okay.
I had somebody out there and they were like, "Oh, did you get me something?" I go, "Oh, I went shopping and got you nothing."
Okay. All right.
But going to your point though, I mean, I think that it's something that, like, obviously, hey, like, I wouldn't even be that comfortable to be like, "Hey, let's go out tomorrow and go liquidate your Bitcoin and buy a piece of property with it, or put the offer in Bitcoin." I wouldn't. I'm a little foreign to it, but I think over the years and as currency keeps changing and things just keep fluctuating, especially like more with the internal systems, I think that's going to be a play, and at least to have people open-minded to it, because at the end of the day, I mean, look at what Bitcoin's done in the last 10 years. It's honestly insane.
1,000 times whatever.
I mean, people they're retired just because they put 10 or 20 grand in Bitcoin and it was worth $100 a coin. I mean, they don't have to do anything the rest of their life.
So actually at one point in time, maybe 2012, 13, 14, somewhere around there, a group of my friends, we put $1,500 into Bitcoin. I don't know how many coins we had, but whatever the math was in 2013, 14, we bought $1,500 for the Bitcoin. And I think we sat on it for a year, and I think we lost like a couple $100 on it. But if
Yeah.
we would have kept it, oh man.
I don't know, my best friends own hundreds of coins and just sold it, but it's like,
Yeah.
who would have known? And like for me, I would have even been that guy. Even if I got in at $1,000 and it went to 10 or 20 grand, I would have sold it.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I would have been like, oh, I made a, you know.
Yeah, you made 10, 20, 30 grand, whatever it is.
It's the people that probably almost forgot their password or lost their login that just stayed, because you're seeing a return like that.
Or they bought it so cheap, so low that even if it went to zero, they really don't give a shit, you know.
Yeah, that's the other way. So I think as a whole, though, with all the blockchain stuff going on, I mean, I definitely think that's something to just keep open-minded, especially for sellers or anybody. If there could be potentially an offer coming in on something, it's just understanding like the whole process. Like even for me, it was a big learning curve because I had to talk to a title company. Because I talked to a few, they're like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't know what to do. But I talked to one of the title companies, and if it's a $4 million deal or a $10 million deal, basically the Bitcoin or whatnot would go into escrow, and as soon as the deal goes hard, it would be liquidated to cash.
Oh, okay.
Immediately, because it's like, oh, what if Bitcoin crashes 40%?
Yeah.
What if a war goes off and all of a sudden everything just hits the fan? So there's like which that kind of made me comfortable too, because that's always my concern. Like, what if Bitcoin's worth 100,000, and all of a sudden midway through, it's a 3-month closing and it's at 40,000 by the closing?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So basically, it's still a cash sale, but
It's like a cash sale, basically.
But like this is, instead of, hey, I got a pre-approval letter from the bank, I'm putting up my
Yep.
Bitcoin that's going to get liquidated at time of
Yep.
sale. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And then the title
Okay.
companies sometimes, like, they want it, because they have offers or they have structures or draws of like their company being X amount liquid in Bitcoin. And then if they wanted to hold it, essentially, they could hold it till the end of closing. Then they just are promised to wire the seller or whoever cash, because usually people, that's what they want. Especially if it's like an elder seller, they're not like comfortable just being like, yeah, let me just get Bitcoin from this guy in Dubai. Like, I completely get it. I completely understand that.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
So that whole thing, I think it's definitely something that the kinks will get worked out over time.
So, one of the goals that we had said in the introduction, again, for 2026, you're hoping to hit $100 million in real estate transactions in 2026. Is that a realistic goal?
Definitely.
Definitely? Okay.
I mean, I think I already have close to 10 million going into the new year that hasn't even closed yet, that will close in the new year. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're 90 million away.
Okay, so you can probably do that, just 10 million a month.
10 million a month. I'm growing my team right now too. There's 6 people on my team on the Molner group. So I mean, that's obviously exciting, because you start getting these people going, and then they really start rolling. All of a sudden, they're selling a house for $5-10 million or whatever. I mean, it just, that volume adds up. So that's a huge goal of mine, is to have, individually me to hit close to that 100 million. We got a couple other people doing that 2, 3, 4, 10 million in volume, and you get a couple of them, all of a sudden I think we can definitely hit that goal. So
the one thing that comes to mind, maybe the people who are out there listening, like in the part of Florida we're in South Florida, what's the average price of a home right now? Do you know?
I would say give or take right around $1 million.
Right around $1 million. Okay, yep. So 10 homes a month,
especially in Jupiter.
Yeah, like what Palm Beach County we'll call it.
Yep, Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County. There's more millionaires and billionaires in Palm Beach County than probably almost anywhere else in the world right now. I think,
without a doubt.
I saw an article not long ago that Silicon Valley used to hold the title of the most billionaires and millionaires, and now it's moved to Florida.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy interesting. So, hitting that 10 million a month, I mean, you're selling probably higher dollar homes.
Right. You'd love to. The realistic goal, right, is you sell 2 $5 million homes a month.
2 $5 million homes a month
is reasonably in that sense, because at the end of the day, like right now, like that, what I've noticed, it's that $2, $3 to $5 million price point is still moving pretty good. Like that really ultra luxury, like that 5 to 20 ish, unless you're Mark Wahlberg and just goes and buys a house cash in Delray for $37 million.
I saw that. Yeah.
That ultra luxury, I've noticed, and even talking to some of the biggest agents, like that definitely has slowed some.
So speaking of all the celebrities out here, I mean, in Palm Beach County, you've got, Tiger Woods has a home here.
Tiger Woods.
Michael Jordan.
Donald
Trump.
Trump's owned multiple homes. Golfers, Brooks Koepka, Ricky Fowler.
But Jeff Bezos has a home though.
Jeff Bezos, I think, is in Miami.
So
the Weekend just bought a house in Miami. Who we're actually, that's another story. But we got some cool stuff going on there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, these guys have all just located obviously to South Florida, and I think the biggest thing it's with their tax bracket. Sylvester Stallone just bought a house. Mike Tyson just bought a house in Delray.
So let me ask a question. Out of all the millionaires and billionaires that I know, I mean, like you think of billionaires, you think of Warren Buffett,
Yeah.
you think of Jeff Bezos,
Yeah.
you think of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But I don't think Elon Musk has a house in Florida, does he?
I don't even know if Elon Musk owns a house.
Oh yeah, he's like a big renter.
He's like a big renter, and
Yeah.
I mean, he might be stuck circling around still in Art Basel in that little dog pen. Did you see that?
He was at Art Basel?
Did you see the thing that guy made? And it was like a bullpen, and it was like Andy Warhol. It was like Jeff Bezos. It was, and they were literally trained, or like it was like they were making photogenic memories of what they saw, and they were like as robot dogs, and the guy made their heads.
Oh,
It was,
I didn't see
you
that.
have to Google it. It was in the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. They were like in like a bullpen, and it was just 10 of these billionaires just walking around as a dog, and then they were actually like literally pooping out photos of photogenic memories of what they saw.
That's weird.
As a robot. I've never seen anything like that.
That's like some trippy shit. You got to be on acid to
I've
appreciate
never
it.
seen anything, and their faces looked so real.
Yeah.
It like you when you later you guys have to look at it, you'll be like, what the hell is going on here?
I don't know. The artsy stuff escapes me. I'm not a big artsy guy. Like I don't understand.
That was
But it
one
was
thing.
definitely
I'm like,
crazy what you're
I'm
saying.
like, I've never in my life seen anything like this, and
No.
it's just bizarre. But going back to the point, I don't know what or how much property Musk actually owns.
Yeah.
I've always heard him talking like he doesn't seem like he really like believes in real estate essentially.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like renting, or he's like whatever. Maybe he's just never home. He's traveling all over the world all year. So that's another thing too. Like some of these people, even on Palm Beach Island, it's a 30, 40, $50 million home.
Never there.
Never there. They're there once in the last year or two.
You'll never see more empty mansions than here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
exactly. They're just like
tens
vacant.
of $millions dollars vacant. But you know who is there is the people who's working on the homes. They're
Yeah.
there all year round.
They're there all year round.
You're up at the house, you see 3 work trucks on any given, multi-million-dollar property.
Yeah, and we'll see how this stuff plays itself out with DeSantis really trying to remove property taxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd be interesting.
that would be interesting, and I know that's a huge thing too, because at the end of the day too, some people are like, hey, I got a 30, 40, $50 million home, it's 300,000+ in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
They like it because it's a tax write-off immediately.
True. So that's kind of one question I want to ask you as well. So you've worked with, if you're selling, $1 million plus homes,
Yeah.
you're working with, millionaires
100%.
frequently.
Yep.
So what's one thing that you've noticed about millionaires that is different than, people who are not millionaires?
Just a lot more confident in their decision making. That's kind of the biggest thing that I've learned and cherished, and that's why I do love doing luxury real estate in that sense. I mean, it's just people they know what they want, they're confident in what they want, they respect your time, they value your time. It's like they want to go look at something and they just know, like, hey, I'm just looking right now, I want to be up front, I'm just looking to see the neighborhood or something. Okay, cool. It's like a very real, genuine conversation, so then I have the expectation. I'm like, oh wow, this guy's like wants this home today, and then we go and see it. He's like, yeah, I don't even like the appeal. Let's not even go inside. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes that happens all the time, where like somebody's sending me 100 properties back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and I'm like at dinner, and I'm like, yeah, like what is this,
Yeah.
And then a day or two later, they're like, oh, we're on hold actually for 6 months, and you're like, what the hell is that, So I think that's the biggest thing that I've kind of garnished, and why I've really more so cemented myself with that luxury brand, is just because you just really appreciate the quality of people. And like for me, like I'm not there to waste anybody's time. I'm there to take care of them, A through Z to the process. That's kind of the biggest things I've noticed. But obviously, like even with my team and group, like we'll do any price point to help people, because you just never know who that potential buyer is, or who a family member is, or cousin might be a CFO or a CEO and on the West Coast, and he's coming to buy a mansion here. I mean, you just never know. So for me, I always treat people no matter where it is, with the same regard. But to me, that's really why I've just nourished and
Well, I'll tell you this. I understand what you're saying. I think the audience gets it too. But I know one lesson that I've learned. If you can solve poor people's problems or rich people's problems. Rich people's problems pay a lot more.
I mean, like you said, you sell $1 million home or 400 or 4 homes at 250. It's the same commission number.
Yeah, same commission
number.
So
sell
time
one or
is
sell
money.
4.
Yeah. So
that's a big focus of mine.
Have you worked with any billionaires?
Yeah.
How are they different from millionaires?
Oh man, it's like, oh gosh, one of the times I was even in Japan actually, and like we just finished up dinner, and I was like just sitting there like just kind of lounging, looking on my phone, and I look over and my friend's just kind of like standing up and down, like playing like a trivia game thing on his computer. Like you could just tell he's just so like intellectually smarter than everybody around him. So that's some things that I've noticed with the like billionaires, especially multiple billionaires. There's something different in their brain, whether they're just seeing something or they're always trying to like expand their brain more, whether they're just like reading or doing like these online kind of trivia games and stuff like that. They're always trying to enhance their brain.
So Elon Musk says he's like what, a little bit autistic or something like that.
Yeah.
So you think there might be a little hint of that with a lot of these billionaires?
There's definitely something like
superpower.
Different. Yeah, there's something different, whether it's just the magnitude of how they see the world differently or just how their brain operates, or they've gotten such a pleasure already of being so comfortably rich that they're almost like could be bored in a way. So they're trying to exercise or use their brain in different ways. There's definitely something different, and they move quick. So it's like one of those things, like if you have somebody like that big and that wealthy, it could be like you missed the phone call, you could be missing the opportunity, because they'll just be like, yep, this is what I want, go strike, boom, 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 get this thing done yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing I've noticed.
Well, on that note, here's a tip for everybody's listening. If you're in business, if you're in sales, there's one thing that can set you apart from almost anybody else, and maybe it might even be more important going into the future with all this AI stuff that's going on. But the most important thing you guys can do in business is answer your phone when someone calls.
Yep.
Easiest thing you could do.
Easiest thing.
Any time of day, like you're taking a shit, you're walking on the beach, wherever you're at, you're on a boat.
Yep.
Answer the phone.
Yep.
And people, when you build that reputation of just answering the phone, you could be like, hey man, I can't talk right now, I'll call you back. But even just doing that, I've noticed in my experience, is huge. Huge.
Even when I'm in like a showing or an appointment and it's somebody important or somebody that I know, it's just, hey, let me call you right back. I'll be out of here in 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. That's it. But the connection's there. The trust is there.
Yeah.
Somebody might need something. There's deadlines. Like for deals you're doing too, there's deadlines. There's things that people need to get done, and that could still be rolling on the weekend. It still could be, an inspection could end on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you're at dinner and you think everything's fine, and it's like, all of a sudden, wow, somebody's asking for a $50,000 credit. I need to negotiate this deal now.
Yeah.
So you just always got to be available in that sense, to your client book. I mean, that's the biggest thing. That's kind of what I strive in. I mean, I always work to be the best person I can be in that sense, and I always work to be available for them just so they are comfortable from A to Z through the process.
Yeah. That's super important.
Yeah.
Super important.
Not available for everybody. Not available for every,
Tom,
but for my clients, that's that to me is everything. Just that client book. It's your life. It's your passion, and it's what, I wake up for every day, is to help people.
Yeah. Well, that's the most important. If you have that attitude, guys, just waking up. And he said it right from the beginning of this. I don't know if you guys paid attention to it, but one of the most, a few of the most important things you can do is number one is, take care of your clients, be available. Let me ask you this question, talking about, as for the people who are listening out there, most people, probably listen to this podcast. I work with a lot of dealership owners. I don't know if you know what I do, but I work with owners of auto, RV, power sport, marine, trailer dealers, business owners is who I mainly work with. And I help them, make more money on whatever it is that they sell through, extended warranties and financing, right? That's mainly what I do. And I help them, basically make more money, and then I help them choose investment, basically portfolios and guidelines of where to put the money that I help them make, right? So on that note, if if Warren Buffett came to you and he was like, Jeff, here's $50 million that I want you to invest in real estate, what would you do with that? And he had said that, real estate is one of the most important, investments that you do make in your life. Do you agree with that statement? And if he gave you $50 million, what would you do with it?
Absolutely. I would probably guide and structure him to getting commercial, whether that's, just residual income with long leases, with 10, 20-year leases. Because that's safe. I would have him do multiple.
You think commercial is safe right now? Because what about
the one with long leases?
With long leases?
With long leases from corporate companies, like you have an Amazon leasing the space, or Publix is there for 20 years, or just those bigger corporate companies. I wouldn't say, hey, go invest in this mom and pop shop just opened up and they're paying $20,000 a month and they fail. So it would be something more like really understanding the numbers and understanding who the tenant is.
Like owning the land,
Walmart's or something big.
Something big.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's like, because when you actually do the math on those, the return is not that great. It's just a stable.
It's a stable income.
Stable income. If you owned a Walmart, if you owned the land underneath Walmart and you rented the building to Walmart, what sort of returns would Warren Buffett be getting on that money? I mean,
probably, any investor is usually looking for around several. At least several percent on the cap. So what I've noticed is, though, a lot of people, it depends how much money it is. Some people are just like, hey, I just want 5%. I want 6% on that return. But there's deals out there right now that could be 10 to 12, just depending on the right thing. I mean, there could be a place out for $50 million and the seller might take $30 million, $35 million because they're just in a jam and commercial slowed up. So I think there's more opportunity with commercial right now. The best thing I like too is just having a lot of doors, whether it's a 10-plex, a 20-plex, a type of big multifamily setup. That's always good residual income because that's always going to have occupancy. People always need a roof over their head, essentially, especially if it's priced right in the right area.
Yeah. Well, you invest in real estate too.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, you own property.
Yep.
So what about the people who don't have $50 million? What about the people who only have $50,000 or $25,000, can they still invest in real estate if you don't have much money?
Absolutely. So the structure that some people have now, usually for people, if it's an investment, if they already own a primary and they want to buy an investment, usually the banks are just requiring like 20%. So say that mortgage is, $3,500 a month and you have 20% to put down, and it's
But what if you don't have 20% to put down?
So if you don't have 20% to put down, it gets a little more interesting because essentially sometimes the banks want, on any investment, it's got to be 20% down in order for them to qualify and approve you. So essentially speaking, they would need to even figure a line of credit out to get to the 20%. But usually with the debt to income ratio for any investment, like a primary, you can do 3%, you can do 5% down.
So what about, have you ever heard of this guy named Pace Morby? Have you seen him online?
I'm seeing a lot of I think I've seen him.
He's the guy who says you can buy a house with no money. You can, assume the loan, or you can.
I've seen some of that stuff. I haven't
You haven't gotten into that section of real estate
yet. But I was even watching something the other day, and this guy was like, he rents property, say it's like $3,000 a month, and then he Airbnbs it out for the whole month, and he's like, the lease is $3,000, and then he's making $6,000 somehow in Airbnb.
Yeah.
But it's like my question / concern, looking out as the, as a principal realtor, essentially, what if it doesn't rent on Airbnb that month? What if June, July, and August are really slow?
And then you got
it rents 5 times out of that month. It's just like I have so many questions for him in that sense.
Well, then you either got to pay the rent, or you just walk away and let the landlord come after you.
Right. That's the only other option alternative. Because you're just seeing stuff all over. I mean, one of the best things I've been seeing though is these kids in Miami. I don't know what this kid's name is, but his name's Amir, and he's walking outside on a penthouse balcony, and it's it's got the Rick Ross, he's and he's like, guys, you want to know how I just went from on the streets to the penthouse condo?
Oh.
He's like, I own this place. And then the girl's like, what are you talking about? This isn't even a penthouse. This is like a 1-bedroom condo. And he's like, hold on, cut that take. And he's like going back and he's like,
Yeah.
and then you hear, like Rick Ross like music comes back on. He's like, guys, like I was just in Cuba and just came over here and now I'm the multimillionaire in Miami. It's like,
I know what you're talking about.
it's hilarious, but I'm just like, I know the stock market, I know real estate, and that's how I'm going to make my wealth. Like some of this other stuff, I'm not 100% knowledgeable yet. Like how some of these people are saying they're leasing a place for $3,000, they're making 6,000. Like,
So you think it sounds sketchy?
it sounds sketchy to me.
Probably. I mean, most of these guys want to sell you a course.
Yeah. And then he comes out and he goes, oh, and by the way, buy my course for this.
Yeah.
It's just, so I don't know. It's a great question, but like to me, it's just, I know that generically speaking, like, you know, even that, I mean, a lot of the people I'm working with, they do have at least 20% to put down and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, most of the people you're working with are millionaires, you know. Yeah.
But obviously, hey, I mean, everybody's situation's differently, or somebody has, you know, X amount of capital tied up into something. Like even like for me, I mean, I got a house or whatever, and I got X amount tied up into it. It's paid off cash.
Yeah.
But I always know, like, okay, if I need to pull a line for $500,000, like, cool, I'll go to the bank. I can have the money flushed to my account tomorrow. So there's potentially $500,000 down payments at 20%. I can go buy 5 more properties. So that's the other way too, is reversing or having access to a line of credit.
Well, that brings me up an interesting topic. Let's say you did that scenario. Let's say you have equity in your home, right? Let's say that somebody has $100,000 equity in their home.
Yeah, which most people do right now.
Most people have equity in their home, right? And you say you go to the bank, they give you a line of credit for $100,000, and now that's what 20% down on 5, you know, $100,000 homes.
Right.
Let's say you're going to be the slumlord, right?
Right.
Well, when you pull that money out, you're going to have another loan for that $100,000. So now, you know, if you pull that, how long would you pull that loan out for? 5 years, 30 years? They wouldn't let you pull out a $100K loan for 30 years now, would they?
Probably not. Maybe 15 to 20.
15
I would say
to 20?
is what I'm seeing. I'd have to really scope back into it, but probably somewhere along that line.
All right, so follow me along with this. So we pull out $100,000.
Yep.
We got 15-year note on the $100,000, and now we're going to go buy properties at a 30-year note. And so basically out of these 5 properties, we've got to get enough cash flow out of these 5 properties to cover the mortgage on those properties.
Correct.
And cover the debt service on the $100,000.
Correct.
So that's a lot of, you got to really buy properties strategically.
You have to buy strategically, especially then the other, you know, the other determinant we're dealing with right now are the rates.
Oh God,
you know, I mean, you're getting
rates,
in at an investment property and it's 2.5%. Now it's 6.5%. That mortgage payment could have went from $2,500. Now it's $5,000.
Yeah.
Now it's close to $6,000 a month, and it's like, where's the margin? Mm-hmm. So I think that's also been tough for people to swallow because home prices are so high. Mm-hmm. Like I talk to people all the time, like, oh, you know, 30, 40 years ago, I was at 17% rate, but it's like, yeah, that property was $50,000. Now it's $700,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot different taking that loan now for $600,000-$700,000 versus a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 loan. Like obviously the dollar is, you know, was much weaker than from where it is now. And it just every, you know, 10, 20 years, it's always going upward.
Yeah.
But, that's something too to take into consideration because the prices are so much higher now. Mm-hmm. It's harder for people to kind of have those margins, and I think even that's why that lower end condo market's really been suffering.
Yeah, like
that 200 to 500,000. It's tough because the condos are, you know, the budgets are screwed up. Somebody has to put 20% down. Mm-hmm. Some buyers in that price point, they don't have 20% down. Now the condo's blacklisted. You have to put 20% down or you're getting a private float cash loan or something. Mm-hmm. And then you go, okay, well, all right, now my mortgage payment is, even if those condos approve it, you're putting 5 or 10% down. Now the mortgage payment's $2,500. You know, it's a $300,000 condo. The HOA fee's $500, $600, $700.
Yeah.
And what can it really rent for? $2,200, $2,300. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So the buyer now is like, and most people, they want to get that condo and start off, and then they want to go buy a house and they want to hold that property, and they're underwater essentially if they go to try to re-rent it. In 5 years, they want to go get a house, and now their mortgage is $2,600, $2,700, and the rent's $2,200, $2,300. it's hard for people. It's hard for that investment to make sense, and that's in strategically right now.
Well, that leads me to one of my last couple of questions here about your predictions for 2026.
Yeah.
So I've seen it down here. Like we're I keep a good pulse on the real estate industry because I own a couple properties and I'm looking for more.
Yep.
And one of the things I'm contemplating is, do you think in 2026 that there's going to be a housing market crash? Because I've seen online, I've seen the Reddit posts, mid 2026, we're going to see a big dip in prices. What do you think?
I think we've seen prices start correcting in the last
you have
12 to 18 months.
But they're still ridiculous.
They're still high, but it's still like when I have a real buyer and we see a place for $1.5 million and like, hey, let's go in at 1.1, let's go in at 1.2, and then all of a sudden that seller comes back at 1.250. That's the deal right there. Mm-hmm. That's kind of already the price is already the seller. Like you just finding the right sellers. Yeah. Because right now the sellers are in this COVID mindset still, and I'm asking 1.5, I'm gonna get 1.5, and it's like, you're on the market for 5 months. You haven't had one offer, and we just got one physical offer in at 1.1, and it's like essentially the buyers are the clock has shifted more towards a buyer market, mm-hmm. and they're now setting the precedent essentially. So they're setting the prices, and if the seller's real and they're like, you know what, dump the property, I want to go put the money somewhere else, sell the home.
So yes or no, is there going to be a housing market crash in 2026?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, right?
If you did, you'd be a billionaire, right?
If I did, I'd be a billionaire. So like an example, like in our area here, I don't think we'll see that. I don't think we'll see the single family home market especially take any type of like a real hit, because the single family homes are so desirable. There's no worrisome regard to getting hit with big assessments, things like that. I think the condo market has certainly seen prices decrease. Can those keep going in the next 12 months? They could keep slipping some, without a doubt, because of all the assessments. And you got a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 condo, and the HOA is $2,200 a month. It's a hard resale.
Yeah.
It could be almost that's a second mortgage right there for somebody. Even if they're like, hey, I got $300,000, I want to go buy a townhome and it's $100 a month HOA. Yeah. And now they can make, $2,500, $3,000 a month on rent. They're almost making $100 a day versus paying an HOA fee. Mm-hmm. That's been the tough kicker, is I think the margins. The margins have just been a lot tighter.
Margins are thin right now. Interest rates are high and margins are razor thin.
A lot of people I talk to in businesses, with small businesses, big businesses,
margins are thin.
Margins are thin. Their profit's not where it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
And that brings me to one of my, yeah. So I'm going to tell you this. It's my time to shine right now.
It's your time to shine.
Because
it always is.
Because
it's Travis's time to shine always.
Because I'll tell you guys, for dealers out there who are listening, Jeff was saying it, margins are getting thin. No matter what the business is, real estate margins are getting thin. Everything's getting thin.
Yep.
But what I've been able to help people do is to capture new margins that haven't been there before. So I work with a lot of dealerships and companies, and even real estate agents. We sell extended warranties on just about everything.
Right. And
extended warranties are a way for business owners to basically create a new profit center out of thin air that doesn't cost them anything, that can help them recoup their margins without raising their prices, because it's a value add, no cost to you type of service. And so right now we've been getting so many dealerships just bombarding us, calling us, asking us questions about, hey man, margins are going down. We need to, figure out new ways to improve.
Exactly.
And so for me, I hate razor thin margins, but it's also breeds opportunity for everybody. You got to get creative.
And that's why you're successful, is you get creative and you understand when things are where they are. There's opportunity for somebody like you and myself to find the deals for people, to find, really show your value to people of like, oh, why are you a 40 under 40 agent? It's like, because you know what, this property's on the market for 1.7. I already called the seller. Called the seller's agent, and there's a lot of room on that price. And let's go strike while it's hot, because a lot of people are like looking online even for property, and they're like, oh, it's too high. It's too high. Well, that house might be listed at $5 million. They might take 3.8, 3.7. We were talking about one of those places the other day on the Intercoastal. It was on for $5 million, and it sold for 3.5 or 3.8. I mean, that's 25% off asking.
Well, so 30%. That's funny that you say that. So one
It's
last
finding those deals.
finding those deals. There's definitely deals out there, guys. You just got to look.
Yep.
And you got to look hard.
You got to hustle. You got to work. You got to do what you're meant to do.
And there's one funny statistic that a realtor gave me, and he was like, yeah, housing, home prices are going down, a little bit here and there, but most home prices are selling within, 95% of list. And I'm like, yeah, 95% of list once they reduce the price to where it needs to be.
Right.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing too. And you're seeing, even like this week, I'm having so much fun. I'm on the phone all week, like right now. I can't even wait to go back to it today. I'm just calling expireds. Everybody's listing's expired. They've priced it incorrectly.
Yeah.
The agent gives up 4 or 5 months on. Now the seller's all fumed to like, you know what, we're chilling for the holidays. It's like I already got like 8 multi-million-dollar listing appointments in the last week or two from just getting on the phone and calling sellers. What happened? Oh, we priced it at 2.5. Where should it be? Oh, the last sale was $2 million. All right, so you want to discuss this, and maybe we'll price it at 2.1, and you'll sell it in the beginning of the new year. So to me, that's where I'm like super excited because that's where
opportunity,
a dominant, masterminded agent comes in, and a lot of the problem it's been people pricing it incorrectly. Now you're the second or third agent on. I would prefer that more than being the guy who's like, hey, we're gonna get $3 million and it's worth 2.122.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where I'm seeing a lot of the opportunity. It's just it's pricing it right. And once it's finally priced right, then you'll see it maybe going at 95%. But if you look back and it was started at $4 or $5 million and it sold 15-20% off asking, but it finally was reduced 15 months later, and people have a hard time being straight up with people.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Of where to price it. We talked about that when we were at Blackbird. Like it's just you want to promise people so much. You don't ever want anybody to lose money, but as that market gets hard and it's like, listen, this is like really what needs to get done. It sucks, but I know you want to cut the loss essentially.
Yeah.
You'd rather prefer have that person be honest with you than sit there for 6 months and you're carrying cost. You're not freeing up the capital to go do something else you want to do in your life. So that's where I think a lot of those agents and guys in sales will shine in the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, guys, it's your time to shine if you're a hustler.
It's your time to shine, baby.
If you're an order taker, see you later. It's going to be a rough couple of years.
Yep.
Well, I got one last off the cusp question for you, and it's about social media. Obviously, we're creating content right now.
Yeah.
So do you think social media is empowering people, or do you think it's ruining their lives? I have my answer.
All of the above. I would say it is giving people that are actually doing it and putting out good, positive messages. It's embracing them, but it's also allowing people to fall and be like, oh my God, this guy's doing so much better than me. This sucks. Like, I hate my life kind of thing.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
The thief of joy. Obviously the thing with Instagram, right? You can AI anything. You can have all this acne on your face, and then you can AI it and you have no acne, and then you actually go see that person like, what the hell is wrong with your face?
Or you could be a guy and put an AI filter on, now you're a girl.
You can do that too. So it's a fantastic question. For some people, like for me, I love posting my real estate stuff. I love posting stuff on my real estate page, like when I'm traveling or I'm going to Japan or I'm doing this or that, so people don't feel like, oh, this guy's just a robot. All he does is, oh, sales. Because I see so many agents like they get out, the lightning strikes, the house shakes.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want my house to shake. Like, what is it going to go? Is the structure messed up?
Yeah.
So it's just so bizarre to see that. Like for me, I love being different and like letting people know, hey, I'm a real person. I have love. I have a fun life essentially too. I love to travel. I love to live a good life essentially, where they just don't see me and it's like robotic. And even on a different podcast I had a seller call me randomly. He's like, I listened to the entire podcast. He's like, I felt like I already knew you. And that to me is huge, where going back to your question about how powerful can social media be, it can be the most powerful tool in the world, and it can be the deadliest tool in the world for people, because at the end of the day, something's posted, it's put online, it's there.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys what I think about social media. Fair points, Jeff. Fair points. I think that short form content is ruining the attention span of everyone. And I don't think you guys should be consuming short form content. I think people should be consuming longer form content like podcasts or educational stuff. Everything else is just junk TV. Yep. To get your attention and keep it for as long as they possibly can until you don't have any attention left. Like these iPad kids, they have no attention. Nothing. So guys, if you are going to watch social media, go over to YouTube, look at my channel, and I'm providing lots of value that you can learn. If you guys want to make more money, you guys want to, improve your business, hit whatever goal you have to hit, you need to listen to people who are doing what you want to be doing. Maybe you want to be top, 40 under 40 real estate agent in your area. Listen to what Jeff Molner has to say. Right. If you guys want to grow your business, you got razor thin margins, you're looking to improve those, listen to me. We can help you out with those things. But anyways, Jeff, where can everybody find you at if they want to follow you on social media?
So at J Molner Realty is my Instagram. At Jeff Molner is more of my my lifestyle page. I like to have two just to kind of really show people like I'm a real person essentially. My YouTube, I have real estate stuff on my YouTube. TikTok, it's Jupiter Jeff. That's a great page too. That one's fun. And my direct cell, give it my cell.
Go for it.
201-919-7969. That's the easiest way to call me, text me. Again, my line is usually always open for clients, for business opportunities. So that's where to find me and catch me at.
Alrighty, guys. Hopefully we gave you guys some value, maybe a little bit of entertainment. If you guys like this podcast, share it with somebody that you know. If you guys didn't like the podcast, then please share it with somebody that you don't like. Make them listen to it.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.